Welcome to On the Chain. This is Jeff here with co-host Chip. What is going on, Chip? What's going on, everybody out there in the On the Chain community, On the Chain family? We've been watching all the chats since 7:38. Everyone's been piling in. It's a great day for some and not such a great day for others as all the markets tanked. XRP down about 13%. XRP plummeting over the edge. It's kind of like a roller coaster back in 2017, 2018 as we went from December to January, and Bitcoin went from its $20,000 high down to like 3,000, and XRP went from its high down to like 20 cents. But here we go again. Where is the market going? Because the market tanked across the board. There's definitely some reasons why the market was tanking, not just the crypto market, but also the stock market. So we got to talk about that. What triggered it? What happens next? Where do we go? What's happening? Let's get fired up. No stress here.
No stress zone right now. Got a lot of good stuff to cover. The voice of the people is resonating, and it's going worldwide. Super exciting. Let's go.
Welcome to On the Chain.
Welcome in, everybody, as they say. Welcome in and drop where you're coming in from. Drop wherever you're coming in from, wherever that may be. Look at my little bro's on today. He is usually the nasty troll on other channels, like in the Rich Watch community. He is the troll, but he's not going to be a troll here today. So good to see my little bro in here today. Very good. He did make an appearance on the channel a couple years ago when he was in town.
Yeah, it has been a few years. That's right.
It's been a few years. Yeah, it was like, my gosh, that might have been 3 years ago. Who knows? Got London's in the building. We've got people coming in from all over
Netherlands.
the world. Netherlands are in the building.
Everyone give a quick shout out where you're tuning in from. We got one point of business that we have to wrap up before we roll. First and foremost, we're going to have a nice badass Yetis giveaway later in the show. So we're going to throw out that word. You guys know the word. So you guys got to start typing that in. Well, that gets set up. But in the meantime, we have a badass Yeti that we gave away to somebody that was in the chat last time. That was SMG Pro Gaming. And he didn't have his Zaman wallet. Now, you guys have to have a Zaman wallet to get set up to get the Yeti NFT. And so check this out. So we have SMG Pro Gaming's Zaman wallet address. And so we're going to transfer this bad boy right here, the badass Yeti, number 432. That's an ash piece from the White Tribe right there.
Yeah, click on him.
Let's check him out real quick. Look at that. Look how badass. Look at those features. Look at that fluff. Those eyes. And you can see the glow of the fire off of him.
Yeah, he's dirty. He's an ash. From all that ash, man. Running around that ash all the time.
Ash from the burnt stuff all around him. Got some fog in the background. That guy is kick ass. So let me start the transfer right now. Let's see how quick it is. So SMG Pro Gaming, what we're going to do. So what you want to do is connect. You have to make sure you connect your Zaman wallet to the XRP.cafe, right? You go to XRP.cafe, click on this thing over here, and then you can add your Zaman wallet. And then when we transfer this bad boy, you'll be notified and be like, hey, you just got a cool ass, badass Yeti was transferred over to you. And so we're about to do that.
I don't see any entries. So go ahead and start typing Yeti again because I didn't have it set up. Unfortunately, sorry, guys. I set it up after you guys started typing Yeti. So type Yeti because I don't see any of them registering. I want to make sure that we are.
And they should register even. They go.
Yeah, it's not.
Normally it takes it.
I'm seeing 0 entries. Something's wrong here.
Do a refresh.
Let me go back and set this up again.
Here we go.
Hang on, let me double check.
And scanned. Here it comes. Getting ready to transfer this badass Yeti on the XRPL because XRP.cafe is built on the XRPL. And when it's built on the XRPL, this is how fast it is. Verified. And let's see if it's verified on this side. Boom. That's it. Transferred. That's how quick it is.
XRPL, baby.
An NFT on the XRPL. So now when SMG goes and checks out, he's connected over here on the XRP Cafe. He'll have his own brand new badass Yeti from the White Tribe, the Ash Yeti. So everyone's fired up. Now what are we going to talk about? We just got started. People are pouring in. Make sure you guys a shout out to where you're tuning in from also. And let's let this build up. We got to make sure build up a whole bunch of Yetis for the giveaway later.
Okay, we're good. We have 18 entries. It's going now. I had refreshed the screen. We're good. I want to talk a little bit about the RLUSD, which is Ripple's stablecoin, has launched. It's available on a number of exchanges, Uphold being one of them, one of the big tier partners, but on a bunch of exchanges. It went live on Uphold today, and it's been seeing quite a lot of activity. And what I wanted to do is just play this video where Monica Long is talking about the RLUSD. Here we go.
Bitcoin market is $160 billion and is projected to grow to $3 trillion by 2028. To meet this growing demand, there's a need for stablecoins that will prioritize regulatory compliance, increase diversification, and drive utility. And that's where Ripple USD comes in. For years, Ripple specialized in building blockchain solutions for financial institutions. For example, we use stablecoins in our products like Ripple Payments. We also lead with a compliance-first mindset and are a trusted partner to financial institutions across the globe. The launch of Ripple stablecoin is a natural step for us to continue to bridge the gap between traditional finance and blockchain. The stablecoin market is big, it's growing, and it's global, just like Ripple.
There you have it, Jeff.
Yeah, that's what we need to know. It's cool
stuff. Monica Long, president of Ripple. Good to hear that. And what's interesting too is I think that that Ripple also has a great. We'll probably get some really great adoption. Probably more institutional type adoption. I could also see people, off ramping to, if they see a high, they want to off ramp, maybe park it for a little bit into a stable coin. And I think the big key difference here is they did release the white paper. I do have a little bit of a deep dive here that I'd like to go through, because this is Trent, who he's with Ripple, but he's just left Ripple recently. But he had a pretty good breakdown on a deep dive and given his thoughts. So I thought it was interesting from somebody who was on the inside and certainly has a pretty good take on what it is.
A real insider.
Here, this is Trent right here.
Check out Meditations, man. Meditations won last time. Meditations has a nice kick-ass, badass Yeti also.
There you go. Now he is head of go-to-market over at Finestra Labs, building Baselight DB, former Ripple, Protocol Labs, Cornell, Peace Corps. So there you go. So there's somebody right there. And he says, basically today kicks off the multi-day series where we'll deep dive in the Ripple USD white paper. After writing it, I've been eager to share more about it. So he apparently wrote the white paper. So of course he wants to talk a little bit about it. But over the next few days, we'll unpack each section of the white paper together. This way you don't have to read the whole thing if you don't want to. So let's start with the problem section, statement section. Basically, why do we need stable coins? Why is the RLUSD? What does it fit in? It goes on to say that before we begin, a quick note, I'm no longer with Ripple. I recently left to pursue a new opportunity. The thoughts I share here are my own and not an official representative of Ripple or RLUSD. Of course, he has to make that disclaimer. And the global financial system overdue for an upgrade, with many processes being slow, expensive, and riddled with inefficiencies. So let's explore why stablecoins are emerging as a solution. And current payment systems rely on layers of intermediaries, leading to delays, high fees. And so whether it's a business or an individual sending money internationally, it often feels unnecessarily complicated. And due to these inefficiencies, the demand for better payment options is growing. And in 2022, stablecoins processed $6.87 trillion. That's right, $1 trillion in transactions. And that was way more than MasterCard and PayPal combined. And so why are stablecoins catching on? Well, first of all, they offer speed, transparency, and cost efficiency. And then payments settle in seconds. We just saw moving a badass Yeti across the XRPL in 3 to 4 seconds. Done, right? Similar to how you'd move RLUSD or a XRP. And then users can benefit from a more streamlined process. So meanwhile, cash use, well, it's declining. And so more individuals and businesses are adopting digital payment methods, and stablecoins present a way to adapt to this shift without sacrificing reliability or accessibility. And so stablecoins don't just improve payments, they also address other inefficiencies too. So they can solve challenges in foreign exchange, enable tokenization of real-world assets. And this one right here is really the key one. Tokenization of real-world assets, which is a multi-trillion-dollar opportunity right there, and even expand financial inclusion. But there is a catch. Not all stablecoins are created equal. And I'm wondering what he's going to unpack here. But he says many lack transparency, proper backing, or regulatory oversight. And this is where this is where Ripple's really going to have a leg up on the competition, especially if we think of some of the other ones, and without naming names, but we're backed by Bitcoin, we're backed by this, and it changes from time to time, and there aren't really good audits. They're offshore. This is an onshore, similar to what Circles. So you're probably going to see some pretty good adoption with this. He says on top of it, the stablecoin market currently impacted by the concentration risk, which is the few issuers accounting for roughly 90% of the total market share. So that's where the RLUSD comes in, fully backed, compliant, purpose-built for enterprise use. This is key. When you see enterprise use, this is talking about institutions, talking about businesses that are moving tens of millions of dollars. Now, Jeff, that we talked about this pretty often, that when you're dealing with a volatility of a digital asset like XRP, yeah, we used to joke that it was a great stable coin. It was super stable. However, if you're moving $10 million or $100 million and there's just a little volatility up, fantastic. If it changes down, that's where you get into trouble. And that's where the RLUSD comes in. That's going to bring that peace of mind to the big business. And it's designed to be the reliability of the US dollar to a modern blockchain-based system. Jeff, what are your thoughts about, as we start seeing more and more stable coins, the big ones are all based on the USD. So how do you see this? And when the BRICS conversation comes up, do you see this just like being making it even more fortifying the USD, or do you see that this is something else entirely different?
So, I think that, as this rolls out further, we really focus in on utility in the space at large, and you really hit it from an enterprise perspective, from a banking perspective. As we look at it, as we workshopped it, as we've monitored and watched this whole development over the past number of years, the one resistance level for day-to-day moving of money utility has been, the volatility. We already have the biggest issue on the exchange is that, in general, right, if you go to FX, the biggest issue is volatility, right? I've been in business transactions multiple times where the business transaction came to a grinding halt. Why? Because of currency fluctuation, because the currency fluctuated on a day-to-day basis, and it fluctuated so drastically that you're talking about a change in thousands of dollars, for the transaction, to a point where the buying party couldn't finish the transaction because of that. It would now become cost prohibitive. And that was because of currency fluctuation. Now, if you introduce the exact same problem with crypto asset and you still have some form of volatility, imagine transaction was yesterday, you're getting ready to do it. All of a sudden, you have everything sitting in XRP, boom, 13%. You just lost 13% of value overnight, right? And it's not, that instant movement of money, which really, if you look at the way the Ripple solution is, the idea is that it was all, instant movement. But a business transaction isn't always instant movement. And there could be some holdup, there could be some delay, there could be some holding of XRP. Someone's got to hold the XRP somewhere, unless it's on the exchange. And so there's all sorts of variable and variety to it. But 13% is 13%. And it could come back late in a couple hours. But that kind of volatility makes it more difficult from an enterprise perspective, in my opinion. Now, if you move it into a stable coin, it's stable. It's tied and pegged to the US dollar. Now people are more confident. If I put $1 million today, it's going to be $1 million tomorrow. Nothing's going to fluctuate. Nothing's going to change. I don't have to worry about it. And it's facilitating my movement of money. Now, the one tie up with the whole RippleNet solution, regulatory clarity was a big issue with a crypto asset. I don't know if we're going to have the same issue with a stable coin, but the stable coin really does a lot more to start, bringing institution, enterprise level business transaction, and I believe more the banking transaction into the space to a level we haven't seen before. How is that going to impact the digital asset space, the crypto asset? Does it impact XRP? Are they using XRP? Are they burning XRP for transactional? What exactly is going to be the impact? I don't know, but at least it's one of the use cases in and around the XRPL it's going to bring more focus, more attention, more utility. And that's what it's really all about. It's got to be more utility. Ethereum without utility, without people building out ERC20 tokens on it, if it was just an idea, that would have been amazing. I don't see where the valuation would have budged, because it wouldn't have got the level or the vast adoption within the builder community. And that makes a big difference. I really believe it has a big impact.
Yeah, it's great stuff, man.
Right.
I mean, I think that's spot on. Like, here's Uphold. This was something post they put out yesterday, but approved by the NYDFS out of New York, issued on the XRPL and Ethereum. So this is also bridged to Ethereum. So it's a USD back. It's a 1-to-1 combined stability and efficiency. And Uphold did a nice article on it here. Like, what is RLUSD? Very simple read, but they just talked about they talked a lot about the transparency, but what they're really hitting on here is the whole idea of the regulation, because Standard Custody and Trust Company LLC, which is a Ripple subsidiary which they acquired, and it's regulated by the New York Department of Financial Services, and the regulatory oversight underscores Ripple adherence to industry's best practices. So this is some of the issues you have with other stable coins where they don't have this sort of regulation. And as we see the new administration come in, we see what's happening with Congress. I think we maybe hopefully get, the FIT 21 can get passed in the Senate, but we may just get even better lockdown legislation that actually gets signed by President Trump. So that'll be fantastic. The multi-chain too, this is another big thing. This isn't just on the XRPL. So it's on natively on the XRP ledger and Ethereum mainnet, allowing to benefit from Ethereum's established ecosystem. Now, this is huge, because the fact that it's on mainnet on Ethereum, this is what Jeff was just touching on, right? If there's so much building that you can't undo that has happened in that ecosystem. All right, now you've got your own native stable coin, which is fantastic. And they also capitalize on the fact that it's Ripple grade, or it's enterprise grade. Ripple's 10 years of experience of on-chain enterprise solutions helps it position as a dependable stablecoin. Security measures employs full multi-layered security approach. The Ethereum smart contracts undergo audits by independent security firms. Ripple also maintains a threat and vulnerability management program, along with bug bounty initiative through HackerOne to identify and mitigate potential risks. So it's a pretty strong offering. I think it's going to bode very well for Ripple moving forward. And as adoption happens, now you're not going to be like, I think it will probably get some investor adoption, because if you wanted to offload to a stable coin that is trusted, regulatory compliant, let's say, overnight XRP goes up to $7 and you anticipate some, retrace back to maybe $6.550. Yeah, you may want to move that into the RLUSD, kind of sit it there for a while, let the retrace happen. It all depends on what your appetite for investing is. But again, this is a lot of times where people will, investors will they want to store it. They want to just keep that value where it's at, and maybe they want to sort of buy back in. But
yeah, that's right.
Wanted to get this out too. Look at this right here. So if Cardano and XRPL ecosystems build a bridge with Cardano's Midnight, it's possible. It's possible for the Bitcoin OS Grail bridges to streamline Bitcoin liquidity right through the RLUSD and XRP. That's interesting too, because we've seen Charles Hoskinson be very pro on this and in conversations with Ripple. So this is going to get a bigger boost too, and I think that's a very spot on statement right there. SMG says, "Hey, thank you guys so much for the NFT. When can we start bidding on the other Yetis?" Well, right now, man, because they are both there. I will tell you right now, if you go to, I'll pull both of them up, but if you go to XRP.cafe, XRP.cafe, and you look up badass Yetis, you're going to see two flavors. You're going to see the Blue Tribe, which is right here, and there you go, right there. They're a little on the pricey side right now. There you go. So 40 XRP. And then if you look over here, you can see that here's some other badass Yetis, and this is the White Tribe. So you've got the White Tribe here, and I will show you. Like, you can go ahead and click on this here, and you can see some of the what are the rest of these things here? Why don't I see the rest of the filters? I don't know. The rest of the filters aren't showing up. Where are the actual? Isn't that weird, Jeff? Like all the filters aren't there. Properties. Did they change something here? I don't know.
That way.
It seems like it's missing on the filter side of it, but yeah, they don't have the. They lost the tribes. I don't know what happened. You see, somehow the tribe got bounced.
Yeah, I see that.
We were just looking at it. That's what's really odd. But yeah, we will probably adjust the price on the XRP. We'll adjust the price too because obviously XRP's gone up quite a bit in value, so we'll adjust it accordingly so that they're more affordable. But that's as it stands right now. So there you go. You can just
we have a new one that's going to be coming out, so we're going to work on getting that to the XRPL, and that's called the Badass Chimps. So we kind of went round and round with that one. We wanted to launch it. Originally, we wanted to try a different chain. Tried to go to the Ordinals. Ordinals was ridiculously expensive. Then we said, hey, let's go to Solana. Went that route. Also crazily expensive. So then we came back and said, well, since we had success with the XRPL, let's roll with the XRPL. Plus, there's 2 more tribes within the Badass Yetis that have to come out. But the Badass Chimps, it's going to be a lot of fun. We want to, regain and build some more excitement with the Badass Yetis before we go there. But the Badass Yetis are awesome. Plus the backstory, and now with a little regulatory clarity, there'll be a lot more that we can do with them. So it's very cool.
I don't know how everything else how everything got bounced on the filters. I'll have to ask the guys.
I don't know. We need a Badass Yeti, Brad Yeti. That's right. We do need a Badass Yeti, Brad Yeti.
Well, I will tell you too that what's come out of that is a real world. So the other thing too is you own Badass Yetis, you also get join the Discord. You get a discount on our coffee. That's the real world utility at the moment. So here it is right here, Badass Yetis coffee. Sure. Here it is. There's the obsidian bold right there. So it's our very own coffee. Is it any good? Nah. It's effing great, Jeff. It really is the best. We would never put our name on something that we didn't personally think was the greatest. So it is roasted to order, which means your order comes in, it gets roasted, the beans get sent out. But you can go to badassyetis.com for that. So there you go.
Oh,
Badass Yetis coffee, I should say. Badassyetiscoffee.com. I'll throw the link in there if you guys want to buy some damn good coffee. Jeff and I recommend you get the beans, the whole bean, and then crush it up yourself. But it is some good stuff. All right, let's jump in. Let's jump into this next
Discord right there too. Got the Badass Yetis coffee and the Discord chat.
And the Discord, baby. Yeah. So I wanted to cover a couple other things here that we're going to jump into. Open. I'm getting some of these posts ready right here. And here we go. So Stu Alderati had an interesting tweet. Ellie Tarrett's been doing some amazing work as usual. She's always breaking some great stories. But before we get to that, I wanted to talk about Stu Alderati, General Counsel of Ripple. He put out this amazing statement. It says, to move quickly and effectively in the new Congress, we must focus on legislation that fosters innovation. It's rooted in frameworks familiar to regulators and judges, ones that regulate activity, not technology, codifying abstract concepts that fuel the previous administration's war on crypto. Without serious study and broad consensus, should be avoided. And I like this statement because he's talking about the whole idea is we want to make sure that we are not rushing innovation, right? And if you think about Hester Peirce, when she said, remember the safe harbor she came out with, she said, well, you get 3 years to make sure you get everything together and it's a decentralized. The revision of that came out the next year was, well, you got 2 years. And I kind of think this is tying into that same concept of the fact that the innovation, you want to make sure that the ideas are flowing, that you're putting stuff out there. But again, the idea is to get compliant. But it's not this whole war on crypto where like, oh, you made one little thing wrong and we're going to come after you. We're going to hang you for this. That's where the whole regulation by enforcement, the Gensler mission was on. But all that stuff's over. He's dead. I mean, now he's gone as far as his position. Let's not let me walk that back a little bit. He's gone. His position is over. We got somebody new that's coming in that is pro crypto. Was a former SEC And what's Caroline? What's her name? She's bounced. That they're not going to confirm her. So you're not going to get another lefty, the one that voted for and doubled down with all of the Gary Gensler stuff. It's good. I mean, there's a lot of winning going on. Trump said we get tired of the winning. I'm not tired yet. I don't know about you guys, but I'm just not tired of the winning yet.
Yep.
Ellie,
Man, but before you do that, just a side note, a little commercial break. Even though we're having a lot of those, if you ever wondered, hey, what kind of interviews have we done? You know, you haven't been on the chain that long, so you go to onthechain.io and you go to interviews. You click on interviews, and like, yeah, I wonder. You know, you can scroll through and see all the cool people that we've interviewed. You know, by scrolling, or you can just kind of go up here and say, hey, I wonder if they ever had an interview with Ellie Tarrant, and you go on here and boom, look at that. And then you look through this and you're like, I wonder if I can listen to it on a podcast. Well, look at that. You can listen to it. I wonder if I can rewatch it. Well, there you go. You can rewatch it. Then you kind of go through here. You can see some other things. And you say, I wonder how I can make sure I get updated every time, you know, there's a stream or a podcast, something that you missed the day, you forget about it. Well, you can put your email address in here, hit subscribe, and when we end the show, you get a notification via email with all of this. It comes to you very conveniently. And you look at it, say, here you go. There's On the Chain, all the cool ways, and here's some of the past shows. So when we do an interview, we don't have a lot of articles to share, but typically we make a show like this, and you've got the podcast version of it. You got the video version. Go over here, say, I wonder how I can get Badass Yeti coffee. Oh, well, there you go. Right there. There's a link to there. And then you can go through and say, I wonder what kind of articles they read in preparation. Sometimes there's a lot of articles in here and we cover maybe, you know, half of them. Sometimes there's a lot of articles and we don't cover any of them, but typically we'll cover some of them, but it's happened, you know, but that's all in preparation. That's real. But this is this is all the back work, Chip.
There it is right there. Caroline Crenshaw. That's not going to a vote. She's not going to be confirmed as a commissioner, reconfirmed as a commissioner, which means that's even going to be voted even more because they're going to have somebody, they're going to have the majority, including the SEC chair. Thank you for that. Couldn't think of the name. Sometimes the name escapes. Appointment for Ed Jeeton. Well, they've already have the appointed person nomination for that. Going back to this here, in a meeting with staffers for the SEC commissioners, Hester Peirce and Mark Ayuda, this week, the Digital Chambers Token Alliance included denouncing the 2018 Hinman speech as a day one priority for the corporate finance division, citing its lack of relevance to the Howey test, creating market confusion, and improperly creating winner-loser dynamic. That's what you don't want the government doing, right? You don't want them speaking on like this, you know, creating winners and losers. That should be done in the private sector, right? And their job is to regulate, not to pick winners and losers. List of priorities for each of the SEC divisions is laid out in a timeline from day 1 to day 90 of the Donald Trump's new administration, pinpointing policy changes that industry feels would help kickstart a new, more positive relationship between crypto market participants and the agency. So here's like a kind of a flow chart. We're not going to get into this whole thing, but the idea is that they're thinking about this. They're not going into a blind. They're creating an agenda for the first 3 months and what they're going to do and kind of how they're going to talk about it. Everything from corporate finance to the markets, you know, withdrawing the prepared amendments for Rule 3B through 16, the enforcement side, you know, initiate an immediate review of all existing digital asset related investigations, basically squashing all of them. Investment management, formally withdraw and consider the proposed safeguard rules. So they're really doing a lot. The digital chamber is doing a lot of stuff and really thinking about. And when Paul Atkins, who is the nomination for the SEC chair, comes in, he's a former commissioner, which is great. So he knows how it runs. So he'll be somebody that can lead. Hey, Steve, good to see you, man. Steve's an OG on the channel. Good to see you, my man.
That type of commentary, you know, flooding in here. It's really good. Really
so
good.
there's a lot of positive things happening. 2025 is bound to be an incredible year, right? Because we're already seeing how fantastic it is already. However, on that note,
all kinds of winning.
Still a lot of rhinos, which we call Republican in name only. The reason we say that is because they're just garbage. You know, you can tell who they are.
Many of them.
There's too many of them, Jeff, and they just seem to get away with murder. I want to play, but thank God we've got Vivek and we got Bill Ackman. We have Elon Musk, who are going to basically run the DOGE, Department of Government Efficiency. They're making suggestions. They're coming in as volunteers, entrepreneurs, knowing how to make things work, much the same way Trump is an entrepreneur, a builder, knowing how to make things work. They're going to make suggestions. They don't have any real power. People are like, they're going to cut all the service. Well, they don't have the power to do that, but they are going to make suggestions. And they do have, what I love about it is they have a stop dead date. It's 2026, July 4th, 2026. And the department goes away. You can't have a Department of Government efficiency that stays around forever. It's not if it's efficient, it does its job and it gets out. And maybe you can do it another term, but that's how it has to work.
Yep. Just wanted to make a comment on cash velocity. Said, isn't it going to be about using XRP for exchanging things like the RL USD to RL yen or RL ruble? Russia will not want RL USD backed by US bonds, which, I think that whole thing with the BRICS and what Russia wants, what Russia doesn't want, I think at the end of the day, the RL USD is going to do what the RL USD needs to do. Russia influence will be minimized. I think Russia is losing huge amounts of influence. They'll even lose more influence once we start tapping oil in this country again, and we see the price of the barrel drop drastically, and oil just dropping in price drastically. That's what's propping up their economy and allowing them to do a lot of the things they do. They're going to be less and less significant. Right now, they have a big voice again because of what the Biden administration has really gotten away with. And they were even, less, or there was even more impact. If you look at the 8 years of Obama, Trump had to undo that, and then Biden just went right back in to old policy. And you could see the involvement, the disaster that had unfolded within the Middle East. And now we're not even into January yet, not even January 20th. Obviously, we're just post-election. The whole world is coming into an amazing point right now where things are coming back into normalcy. It's like the past 4 years we stepped over into some parallel universe that wasn't supposed to exist, and now we're moving back into normalcy again, putting all the players where they need to be. At the end of the day, movement of money is movement of money. It's all about business. And then the whole involvement of what Russia will want or what they don't want. At the end of the day, they want to move money too. They want to succeed in the economy, and things are going to go back in that direction the way it was meant to be. I can remember years ago, I was at a conference and I was sitting at one of the booths. We're inside the meeting room, inside the booth at the trade show, and the guy was from a country and in the Middle East, and we're having this conversation, and it was just interesting because he was from Lebanon. I had met with some guys from Saudi Arabia and from all over the Middle East, and we're sitting in a booth that was for an Israeli company at the time, and we're using their meeting room, and we look around. I'm like, this is pretty amazing that right now there's a block on most of the Arab countries doing any type of transaction or business with an Israeli company, and yet we're all sitting here meeting in their booth, in their meeting room. And he said, what it's really all about? He said, forget about all the politics. It's all about the money. It's all about the business. He said, that's what we all care about. Nobody cares about all this other, that's all on the media and the news, and there's emotion and all of those things. But at the end of the day, the people want to live and transact and do business, right? And that's what it was all about. And it's just eye-opening when you actually get out there into the world and you start meeting with people from, all different parts of the world. And it's a whole different, it's so different, and so when it really comes down to it, like Zober said, it's all about the money. That's it. It's all about the money.
Well, it's all people wanting to do what they want to do in their lives, right? This is what we talk about freedom, why we talk about decentralization, because they want the freedom, what Jeff said, to transact, right? They want the best for their countries. One of the greatest speeches Donald Trump ever made was when he talked to the UN and he said, yes, I want to make America great. I want to put America first, but you should want the same for your countries. Put Australia first, right? Put the Netherlands first. Put Great Britain first, right? Wherever you live, you should put that first. Put South Africa first. You should have Lebanon. That should be your goal as the leader of that country, to position everything that gets your country a win. And there's a lot of win-win scenarios. But if you're not putting your people first, and you're putting the government first, and you're putting your thumb down on the people, that's what people are tired of. That's why we had the sweeping victory by Trump. But it's a reflection of not just what's happening in the States. It's a reflection about what's happening worldwide. This is a worldwide movement. Make no mistake, right? We saw Malay turn around, basically what's happening in Argentina. We saw Bukele totally take, El Salvador from one of the third worst countries in the world to live, most dangerous, to one of the top 3 safest countries to live. It can be done. This is what they don't want you to know. You call them what you want to call them, the deep state, call them whatever. The people who are the bureaucrats don't want you to know that it's a lot easier, right? They don't want you to know that if you just say, hey, Mexico and hey, Canada are great neighbors, can you help us with the border? Well, you don't get much thing. But if you say, like, if you don't clean it up, there's going to be a 25% tariff going on all your stuff. Oh, hang on. Let me pay attention here, right? It's not
dynamics a little bit.
Changes the dynamics. But what we have with this continuing resolution was garbage, right? And the fact it's embarrassing with the Republicans, Democrats, yeah, that's who they are. But I want to show Vivek expose these guys in this right here.
Yeah, this is an interesting comment as we get into what Vivek Ramaswamy is going to say in the exposure of the government. And so Art is saying, guys, I 100% agree, but let's be honest, why would the government allow us to have any control of ourselves? Once a human is born, they're assigned a number and under control. That's somewhat true. And, somewhat we're protected by the Constitution, right? And the thing is there is a level of control. There's also a level of freedom that we're wrenching back. And you're right. As long as we follow that narrative, we'll never be free. Once we take our freedom back because it was given to us, it's God-given. And in this country, it's also, covered under the Constitution, tells the government what they can't do to protect the will of the people. You don't have that in other countries. It's so different. It's so drastically different here.
Or 2 countries that do that, and they get nothing but grief nonstop. But listen to Vivek here. I want to show you guys the power of the voice you have. You don't realize it because we are winning. We are making a difference. The single greatest thing that Jeff and I always cite that helped this election in the States was Elon Musk creating a free speech platform and giving the power back to the people to be able to talk, right?
About to pass a bill that blows away your taxpayer money, but they made it over 1,500 pages long so you wouldn't read it. I did you a favor. I read it for you. It's supposed to be about keeping government operations open and providing disaster relief aid to hurricane victims, which I'm sympathetic to. But if you read the bill carefully, it contains pay raises for members of Congress, and I'm not making this up, an expansion of their federal health benefits. It contains all kinds of special interests and pork funding, including opening up a new stadium in Washington, D.C. It renews the Global Engagement Center, which is a key node of the censorship industrial complex. And the worst part is, they didn't want you to know about any of it, and that's why they made this a last-minute jam job. The reason I'm co-heading DOGE is I think we need outsiders to bring actual accountability to Washington, D.C. So feel free to call your congressman and let him know how you feel about it.
Damn right. Thank God. He's like, it was 1,500 pages. This is what they do. They jam through 1,500 pages. And they asked now because all this stuff got exposed, they were asking members of Congress. They didn't know what was in it because they don't read it. They don't even read it.
They can't read it. 1,500 pages. They don't even try to read it. They could carve it up and they can report back. They don't even try. It's horrible, Chip. It's so disgusting.
It is disgusting, man. And I want to show a couple of these posts on X here first. But this is where we're winning. This is why you got to feel bullish about what's happening. And I don't care where you live, because this is coming to where you live, because you need the best and brightest entrepreneurs in your country to come forward. And this is going to bubble up. It's going to be successful here, and then it's going to spread like wildfire. And that's how it works, right? We already saw, how it's starting to spread, with leaders. And you see that Macron is on the ropes. We see that Trudeau is basically in resignation mode any day now. His government's completely fallen apart, and we want to make Canada great again. Canada is an amazing country, man. And the fact is it's been devalued. You had this guy Trudeau who's destroyed this country. And Canada is a phenomenal country. The people are fantastic. The people want their country back. Mexicans want their country back. We all want to have the freedom and share this freedom together. But look at this. Elon Musk was talking about what Wall Street may even put out, which said the two provisions buried in the CR that Congress is trying to slip by. Jeff, what you were talking about is this pay increase from $174,000 a year to $243,000. That's a 40% increase. Also, members of Congress are receiving an opt-out from being required to use Obamacare. So they don't have to use it, but you do. Isn't that convenient? And what Elon Musk was saying was, how can this be called a continuing resolution if it includes a 40% pay increase for Congress? And the pork, when you hear about pork, that's all kinds of garbage. Every member of Congress will throw something in there, a freebie coming back to their state. They're going to study squirrels and reproduction. I don't know, all kinds of goofy stuff. One of the things was they were going to rebuild a bridge. Okay, what does that have to do with giving enough money and funding the government? Nothing. So this is where it's all complete bull. Elon Musk, unless DOGE ends the careers of deceitful, pork-barreled politicians, the waste and corruption will never stop. Therefore, there's no choice but to do so. I wish there was another way, but there's not. Trump already said it. If you're not on board with what people want, the people voted for Trump. They voted for what he put forth. But it's not just him. It's the dream team, right? It's RFK Jr. making America healthy again. It's Tulsi Gabbard, right? Rooting out all the corruption in the three-letter agencies, right? It's Vivek and Elon Musk getting rid of the fat. And the only way to do it, like Trump said, is, Jeff, you're going to have to primary these people. They stepped out of line. It's against what the people want. See you later, stupid. You're gone.
Yeah. You know what's interesting? If you start getting into the bills, this is where stuff gets buried, and it's really difficult to find also. So if I was to pull this up, for instance, this is the appropriations bill, right? You're making further continuing appropriation for a fiscal year ending September 30th, 2025 for other purposes. So they have this whole supplemental, for the fiscal year 2025, and they kind of get into it. I'm like, what in the world could potentially be in here? And so I kind of looked it up, and lo and behold, there's a section on here that is all about economic and technological initiatives, blockchain adoption. So they talk about other things like 6G networks, resilient supply chain, broadband expansion, and things like that. But if they actually get into blockchain adoption. So there's a whole section in here. If we get into section 301, somehow we can't fast forward to it. I don't know what page it's going to be on. It's probably, it's buried in here someplace. We could look it up. Page 215. So let's see if we can go to.
Or is this a different bill, Jeff?
There's something different, I think.
Okay. Is that on top of Jeff? And what are we talking? Are we talking about
this? Is the fiscal appropriation. I don't know. It's just I was looking at it, and it's just interesting because they're talking about blockchain. It's in this fiscal appropriation bill. They bury blockchain technology in here, but their whole idea of the blockchain says here the act outlines initiatives to promote the integration of blockchain tech across various sectors. So it's like, okay, great, that's what we're going to do. But then what does it actually do? It talks about, right, all it brings in, it's not an actual, it's not doing anything for blockchain. It talks about how it would like to promote it. And then the act actually proposes the establishment of a task force to study the feasibility of blockchain application in government operation and to develop a framework for public-private partnerships aimed at fostering innovation in the field. I find it's interesting that it took all this time, right? And now all of a sudden it's somehow finding its way in, but you can't actually find it. It just gets buried in here. It's not like, they're trying to figure out, hey, how do we pass and regulate or provide regulatory clarity on crypto asset? Because that's really what's vital. I get it. You want to implement blockchain? Blockchain should be used already. Put voting on the blockchain. Let's figure that out. Let's get transparency in the voting process. Let's go get transparency in the entire fiscal scenario, the entire expenditure of the U.S. government. Put everything fully transparent. We get away
transparent.
from all this
All
nonsense.
monies. Yeah, Jeff,
It's
I
so
agree.
crazy. Yeah.
Rob McDermott says 51st. Most of my Canadian friends get mad when I say that. Well, I got a text from a buddy of mine today, and he signed it the 51st. He put a maple leaf and he put the 51st state on it. So, and he's not a fan of Trudeau either. So, I want to play. We're gonna talk a little bit about that as well. So,
by the way, this
5.
is an ass kicker. So this ass kicker, this badass Yeti right here from the white tribe, this ass kicker, we're giving him away today. He's of
Giving
the
away,
clan
baby.
ass kickers and from the white tribe. Check out the detail on this guy. Look if you just look at that headpiece, the eyes, the sword, right? And then you get into the detail of his shield. It's got some fur on the shield. And this thing is so ornate and beautiful. Like right down, he's got armor. This is one of the ass kickers. The ass kickers are badass. Right?
They're all bad.
They're all badass. But when
all
you have an issue, you send out the ass kicker, and the ass kickers take care of business.
Yeah, swords. They got some serious weapons too, man. I wanted to talk a little bit about this because Vivek said real-time advice to Congress. Go back to the drawing board. Start with the blank slate. Do this the right way. There's time for forgiveness. No, there's not. I want the names of everybody who is going to vote yes on this, and I want them primaried. It's time to get rid of the rhinos. There are so many rhinos in especially the Senate. And so here we have Bill Ackman, also part of the volunteer group, a billionaire, a guy who took a little bit of time but came around and became a supporter of Donald Trump. Now he's going to be on the DOGE as well. He said people have expressed skepticism about how DOGE can be effective without any formal authority. I think today's events around spending bill provide a roadmap for DOGE's progress. There are 3 steps to a successful DOGE execution. Step 1, Jeff, you just talked about it, transparency. Vivek read the bill, summarized the contents on X. Boom, this is what it's really about, right? Step 2, the people speak. The people, including Elon Musk, expressed the disgust with the bill, calling out particular egregious waste for color on the contents. Step 3, the Congress reacts. Faced with a spending bill that the people don't like, with the risk of being primaried for supporting a bill filled with pork and other waste, the bill fails to garner needed support to pass. When its first test case, DOGE shows you how it's done. As DOGE identifies waste of bad regulation, it just needs to follow the 3 steps. Power to the people. Yeah, that's right. That step 2 is the big one. That step 2 is a big one, Oscar. Yeah.
Well, you know what's interesting about it coming from Bill Ackman, the process of moving away from the Democrat Party, it follows, a certain, step-by-step process too. So, first it's kind of like, they get angry, then, they're angry at the party, but yet they still adhere to the party. They still try to rationalize and explain it. Then they have the wake up. Now they're no longer defending them anymore. Now they're just attacking them, but they still believe they're still part of the Democrat Party. Then all of a sudden they have this realization they're no longer part of the Democrat Party. And they're like, I think I'm going to leave the Democrat Party. I think I'm going to become an independent. And then all of a sudden they have another awakening. And this is as they start adhering to the MAGA movement. And that was Bill Ackman, perfectly, because as he was going through it, he said, but I could see the benefit. I could see where Trump is right. I don't know if I can support him. I'm not sure if I'm there yet. Then all of a sudden he's like, I support him, but right. And then he's just like, I'm 100% on board with Trump, MAGA, MAGA, MAGA. Everyone needs to get on board. And you follow that process and everyone's gone. You've seen that conversion process. And it's amazing because as soon as the eyes are opened and they realize everything that they lived through all those years has been a lie, and they've been walking around the world with shades over their eyes. Then all of a sudden they wake up and they're like, oh my God. Right. And we're seeing this 100%, what we're talking about, the transparency with the DOGE, because now it's kind of this awakening. For years, people said, oh, the government's corrupt. Oh, well, there's nothing we can do about it. Right. And then it's kind of like, well, there's 2 parties and the 2 parties are going to do whatever they do. And now all of a sudden there's this little by little, we get well, let's make America great again. We need to make sure, but it's not just make America great again on a world stage. It's make America great again on a national stage. Let's bring the power back into the hands of the people. Let's strip the government of the corruption, and let's strip them of their power. Their power is through the expenditures. The expenditures is through pork and waste, like Bill Ackman's talking about. And the corruptive nature of government is when Congress can vote on their own pay raise and hide it into a 1,500-page bill and raise their salary by 40%, which is outrageous. And we have a video of them complaining about it. Like, I don't give a shit. You know, they're like, I can't live on $174,000 a year. I don't care. You're the one who ran for Congress. You knew what the salary was. You knew what it took. You knew what the money that you had to raise. You knew that you had to have an apartment in each city. You know, you knew all that stuff going into it. You knew it was $174,000. Don't come crying to us, because it was also supposed to be a part-time gig. It wasn't supposed to be a full-time gig, right? And you don't want to be there for 2 years and you can't afford it, then leave and go back into the public. Get out of government. Be there for 20 years. You know, so I don't give a shit. I want to have them have a pay decrease. There's no reason to give them more money. Take money away from them. It's a corruptive nature. They can't expect us to keep taking money out of our tax dollars that we work hard for. I don't give a crap about any of these people. And I don't give a shit.
There it is right there, Jeff. You don't give a shit right there.
That's right. Man, it's so infuriating. It's just so infuriating, you know, to see what these people do. You know, it's just crazy.
No bill should be passed Congress until January 20th, when Trump takes office. None, zero. Love the sentiment of that. The more I learn, the more obvious it becomes that spending bill is a crime. It even includes funding for the worst illegal censorship operation in the government. This is a third party that they were financing. They put funding in for this so-called third party that's going to go in and censor. Are you kidding me? No. That is a crime. But look what happened. When you start seeing stuff like this show up in the leftist rag Politico, Speaker Johnson, in discussions to drop the current spending plan in favor of a clean bill. This means your voice matters. We're done. The old system's done. The people want what the people want, or we will take you out. And if you don't believe us, then you just missed this last election cycle. Am I wrong, Jeff? It's exactly how it goes.
Exactly.
Bam. Suckers.
Now you know why they do insider trading. That's right. They make millions upon millions. You know, it's crazy.
Well, I want to show you something. I want to show two videos right here, sort of back to back here, as we're sort of like running on time. But I want to talk about Pierre Poilievre, who's probably next in line to become the next prime minister. He's a conservative.
Right there.
I'll have to do. Yeah, Jeff, we'll have to do the Apple the next show. We'll do the Apple interview, which is the single greatest interview that's ever been done by any Canadian politician, maybe any U.S. politician, where while he's eating an apple, he just takes apart this liberal reporter. It's just epic. It's the best ever. I've watched it at least 20 times. I watched it 2 or 3 times just yesterday. So here we go. Here's Pierre Poilievre.
20th is a scary date for the Canadians because of the tariff that Mr. President Trump will impose on the exports of Canada. What are the most dangerous impact economically and politically on Canada? As we see, there is no clear plan how to face this 25% tariff. Thank you.
The only thing I wish he was doing in this interview is I wish he was eating an apple. He should bring an apple everywhere he goes. He should just eat the apple, because it would be the greatest thing ever. I would just love it.
Thank you.
Look, we sell more than twice as much to the Americans than we sell to the rest of the world combined. The United States is the biggest economic and military superpower the world has ever seen. They happen to be our neighbor and our friends. They have a president with a strong and fresh mandate. And he's someone who is a very powerful negotiator who can spot weakness from a mile away. Mm-hmm. And what does he see when he looks at Justin Trudeau and the NDP Liberal government? He sees a ridiculous clown show of chaos, and that screams weakness. President Trump has made it clear that he wants our jobs and our money. Justin Trudeau's chaotic clown show will only help him get it. We need a strong leader who will negotiate with backbone and brains, who will slash taxes, bureaucracy, and red tape to unleash free enterprise here in Canada so that our workers and our entrepreneurs can bring home the hundreds of billions of dollars that Trudeau's socialist policies have driven south. We need to rebuild our military, reinforce our borders, and negotiate a deal with President Trump that is good for both our peoples, that makes both Canadians and Americans stronger, richer, and more secure. And only the common sense conservatives have the strength and smarts to put Canada first.
Right
Boom.
now in the past 30 or 40 minutes.
That's it.
Canada first.
So that's it right there. There it is. That's not the whole interview, though. That's an abridged version of it.
That's not the whole thing.
There it is. It's the greatest interview ever. We'll play the proper one.
We'll play the whole thing. But that's great. That's a nice
It's-
app. Yeah, look at that.
that I can find it, but it's honestly, it might be the greatest I've ever seen. I mean, I've never. It was in 2023, I believe, too, wasn't it, Jeff?
Yeah, I think it was about a year ago.
Try to see if I can. I thought I had. Let's see. Do I have it? Let's see.
Why, Steve? How many end up in the ER slipping in the shower, getting foreign objects removed? They are true badass. Badass. The badass Yetis. They don't slip in the shower.
I found 3 of them, but it wasn't the right one. I'll have to find it because I know we've watched it here, but we will find it. But I want to show. This is Valentina Gomez, who's running for Congress. Jeff.
Yeah, let's throw her in. Get ready, guys. Throw in some Yetis if you haven't done so yet. Type in Yeti, and we're gonna get ready to do that drawing here in a little bit. And your Zaman wallet. Gotta have your Zaman wallet.
28 entries we got so far.
How many?
28 entries.
28. Man,
Yeah.
there should be at least. And
Valentina
away
Gomez,
lots.
if you are not following her, look at that. We got that from XRP Plumbing.
Yep.
Beautiful. Thank you for that, man. Appreciate
up?
the support. Thank you very much.
Um,
I want to show this. This is Valentina Gomez. She ran the last election cycle. She lost, but I love her because she just is unfiltered. And you'll see it in this clip. And you might even recognize her, but she's running for Congress and she gives 0 Fs. She's just going to tell you how she feels.
I'm running for Congress in Texas, and I'm taking down a rhino and a dinosaur once and for all. Because Congress is full of crooks like Speaker Johnson, who is just a little man with no balls that funds Ukraine and betrays the American people every chance he gets. And then Crenshaw, who is only good at betraying his fellow Navy SEALs. I'm 25 with an MBA, fluent in multiple languages, former NCAA Division I swimmer, and with many more accolades to my name. But here's the only reason why you should vote for me. Because I don't give a fuck what all those bureaucrats in Washington, D.C. think about me. I'm coming to Texas to speak the truth, cook the crooks, and save the children. Buckle up, Texas, because this ain't my first rodeo.
Like,
She's fantastic.
it's funny.
She's just
Made a
great.
lot of good ones, yeah.
She's just fantastic. You gotta love it, man. You gotta absolutely just. This is fantastic.
Yes. Take my money, Rob.
She's fantastic. She really is. I follow her. I like every time she puts up a video. I love it. She's great. There's videos of her shooting guns. There's video of her driving her. I mean, she's just nonstop, man. And she's she uses words that aren't supposed to be in our vernacular and our vocabulary, and she just uses them freely. She doesn't care. She gives 0 Fs. Very, very true. Gives 0 Fs. We got 30 guys. You got a few more seconds
30.
to put something else in there.
The clock is ticking. Tick, tick, tick.
Yeah, it's
We
going
need
slowly.
we need a clock.
Okay.
We don't have a ticking clock. We got this.
Yeah. Well, we got 30. I'm waiting for a couple more, Jeff, to see if we'll get something here. But let's
There
see.
you go.
Right, a short, funny segment to introduce that our next segment is clickbait time.
Yeah.
Good big time.
Jeff, we just can't talk about something and not play it. It just doesn't make any sense. So we have to play Pierre Poilievre's. We gotta play his apple eating segment. I did find it.
All right,
here it goes. Ready?
On the topic, I mean, in terms of your sort of strategy currently, you're obviously taking the populist pathway.
What does that mean?
Well, appealing to people's more emotional levels, I would guess. I mean, certainly you tap very strong ideological language quite frequently.
Like what?
Left wing, this and that, right wing. I mean, it's that type of ideological spectrum.
I never really talk about left
but
or right.
Anyways, I don't
really believe in that.
Okay, a lot of people would say that you're simply taking a page out of the Donald Trump book.
Like which people would say that?
Well, I'm sure a great many Canadians, but
like who?
I don't know who, but
well, you're the one who asked the question, so yeah. You must know somebody.
Okay, I'm sure there's some out there, but anyways, the point of this question is, I mean, why should Canadians trust you with their vote, given not just the sort of ideological inclination in terms of taking the page out of Donald Trump's book, but
what are you
also
talking about? What page? What page? Can you give me a page? Give me the page. You keep saying
in terms of turning things quite dramatically in terms of Trudeau and the left wing and all of this. I mean, you make quite a it's quite a play that you make on it. So I'm
not sure. I don't know what your question is.
Okay, then forget that. Why should Canadians trust you with their vote?
Common sense. Okay. Common sense for a change. We're going to make common sense common in this country. We don't have any common sense in the current government. The guy prints $600 billion, grows our money supply by 32% in 3 years. That's growing the money 8 times faster than the economy. No wonder we have the worst inflation in 4 decades. I'm going to cap spending, cut waste, so that we can balance the budget and bring down inflation and interest rates. You'll want to be able to pay your mortgage again? You want to be able to afford rent? Then you have to vote for Pierre Poilievre, because I'm the only one with a common sense plan that will bring back the buying power of your paycheck.
Which page? You're taking a page out of Donald Trump. Which page? Who said that? Thank God, Jeff, because if you don't call these people out, if you don't actually say, he's like, which page? The whole time eating in the apple, by the way. Dude, he should bring that apple everywhere he goes. It's just so fantastic. It's the best prop ever. Which page? Who said that? Well, the left, right. I don't really talk about left, right. What are you talking about? Well, I don't understand your question.
The people. Which people say that?
Which people said that? Who said that? It's a typical straw man argument where they're creating, then they said this. Who are they? What do they say? And he takes up the bite of the apple. God, it never gets old for me, man. It really never gets old. So casual. Keep asking questions. You win most times.
That's right.
He fell in love again. Pierre Poilievre is like the man, dude. I love this guy. He's really, he's a rising star. Nigel Farage, but you're going to see Nigel Farage rise. You're going to see him become prime minister. Just gut check. You're going to also see it happening with Pierre Poilievre is going to be the next. And thank God they oversteered off the cliff with Trudeau, because now they're going to get somebody who's sensible, and you're going to get a Canada that's going to be roaring back. It's beautiful.
Yep.
Let's do it, Jeff. We want to do this. We want to do the. Can we just watch this one more time?
On the topic, I mean, in terms of your sort of strategy currently, you're obviously taking the populist pathway.
What does that mean?
What does that mean?
What does that mean? God, I gotta love the dude.
Man, XRP. Bitcoin's under 100,000.
Yeah, we're going through cycles, man. I'm doing some cycling.
The whole market's down. Everything was down.
Yeah, we're down. We're down. What do you do? I'm gonna share the screen. Let's go.
Oh, ready?
Let's go to Yeti. Here it is. Bam. Ready, guys? 30. We're going to.
Here we go.
You got to be here. You got to say
ready. You got to have your Simon Walker. And you're here.
Let's go. Ready? Let's see who's gonna win. Let's
go.
Ready, Jeff? Click.
Yes.
Let's go. Who will it be? 30 chances here. Who's going to be the lucky winner today? Boom. Zober wins. Bam.
Zober.
Zober wins a badass
Where's
Yeti.
Zober? Is Zober here? Zober, you still here?
Zober,
you're
stay
here. Come on,
here.
Zober. Zober was here a few minutes ago.
Got to be here to win.
Zober, say, I'm here.
Said it again.
And you were so close.
It always gets you like
now
at the
that,
end.
now that SMG has a Zaman wallet.
And then that last one, it just, bam, throws it out there.
Right. Congrats to Zober. Zober won. But Zober, you got to say that you're still here. Hopefully you're still. Oh, there he is. He's here.
He is.
All right. Now we just need a Zaman wallet.
Get your wallet, baby. We'll load you up with that badass, this awesome badass Yeti. Look at that.
Look at that. That's a kick ass.
Kicker, dude.
An ass kicker right there.
It's an ass kicker. You got that. Building an army, man.
Ass kicker. An ass kicker.
By the way, Rob McDermott might have. He's mounted the largest army of these little guys, man. Right?
I think so.
I'm in there. I know that.
He definitely has a large.
He's got an army, dude. He's got an army of these puppies.
We're letting them free. We're letting them free one by one.
Bam. Truth.
But check out that elder. Rob scored an elder. Rob's elder is in his profile picture there. And that is awesome.
That's an elder right there. There's only 7 elders.
Seven elders in the white tribe.
They lead the white tribe. They're big. They grow big over time. And they're amazing. Wish we could blow that puppy up, but yeah, that's the elder, baby. There's 7 of them.
Okay, Zober, we need your Zaman wallet. Once we get the Zaman wallet, then we'll be able to transfer.
Damn right, damn straight, baby.
It's a whole bunch of these badass Yetis.
Send that Yeti to sort out Elizabeth Warren. I basically just said she's a fake Indian who just basically yells at the old lady that yells at the sky anymore. She's rendered useless. Nobody cares about her.
Here's all the minted. Here's one right here. There he is. Check that guy out. That's one of the 7 elders of the white tribe. The blue tribe, no elders because they're more along the lines of a republic. But the white tribe, they have 7 elders. Black tribe, purple tribe, they're all going to have elders. This elder, kick ass.
That's crazy, man.
There's only 7, and then they have. Look at that! Look at that! Look, this guy just came out. So amazing. The detail. These things are just so kick-ass. I love the elders.
Fantastic.
Elders are probably one of my favorite, but with the elders, what's really important is that you have these guys here, and these guys. Let's see if we can find a nice one here. There's a whole bunch of them. Look at these guys right here and get into their description. So these are the guardians, right? And the guardian, what's nice about the guardian is that they're the front line of defense for the elders. And the guardians, when it's time and one of the elders eventually dies, he's replaced by one of these guardians. And they're elevated and they grow bigger. They don't stay small like this all the time. When they become eventually elder.
So we spent a lot of time with these badass Yetis. We invested a lot of time in this whole thing's like we got a whole folklore, we got a video game, we got how they govern their tribes, how they each one of the tribes. Yeah, our goal is that AI will move to the point of where this will become a video game. We're getting there. So that's where we're headed with this whole thing.
I guess.
Yeah. Gotta love the my God.
Now I gotta try to find. I saw Zober's thing in the yeah, but I can't grab it off.
You got to go to YouTube.
I got to go to YouTube, but it's not in the one party, so I got to go to a different perspective.
That's a great comment. Chad says, "I wouldn't even let Pocahontas run my HOA, let alone the banking committee."
That's good. I like that.
You want to see another funny? This is why I love Trump. I don't care what people say. Trump's not presidential. He's not this and that, dude. This right here is why I love Trump. You know why? Because he also gives 0 Fs. He's calling Trudeau the governor of the 51st state. I mean, it's just brutal takedown stuff, man. Look at this right here. Donald Trump put this up today on Truth Social. He said, It's really too bad that AOC lost the battle for the leadership seat in the Democrat Party. She should keep trying. Someday she'll be successful. That's some major trolling right there, man. That's a 4.0.
Yeah, here we go.
Man,
it's over. This bat. Oh. Uh-oh. Hang on a minute.
What happened? What'd you do?
So the double check the address you sent because it's missing something. It did not. It starts with a small r, ends with a capital L, but according to the XRP transfer here, that's not a valid XRP address. So something is missing. Either a first character or a last character. One or the other. Just let us know which character might be missing. It's either the first or the last. Yeah.
Yeah, we got to get that right. We got to be able to.
The first or the last. First or the last. So it's you can see it right there. You can see what you're posted. Just give us the first or the last character, whatever's missing, and I'll add it in or just repaste the whole thing. Look for a space. Yeah, there is no space. Unfortunate. I tried that. No spaces. You might have put the send address. That's possible. Instead of the receive address.
All right. Well, while we're doing that, Jeff, I want to. Tom McDonald made another great song. Take off of an old holiday favorite, but he's updated it. Tom McDonald does some great stuff, but let's put this on there while we're waiting for this. But this is Tom McDonald's Christmas song.
Well, the tide is finally turning, and Kamala's speech is slurring. Thank God we're saying bye to Joe. Screw the woke, screw the woke, screw the woke. And the mainstream media's dying. Their viewers shaving their heads and crying. What is a woman? Well, they still don't know. Screw the woke, screw the woke, screw the woke. They tried to stop us by taking his life, but they missed, so it's fight, fight, fight. The left really thought they'd beat the right, and they fought, but they lost, thank the Lord. Now January is coming. Half of Hollywood's already running. They're finding new countries to call home. Screw the woke, screw the woke, screw the woke.
You gotta love that. Did you like that? Did you enjoy that, Jeff?
Yeah, it's weird. The first time I copied and pasted, it didn't work. This time, it's been submitted, verifying, sent successfully. Boom.
Just like good advice right there. It's over. No drinking during giveaway.
Now it's over. Check it out. Go check out and see if that bad boy was transferred over. That'd be nice.
Have you noticed Trump's new hairstyle? Chip 2.0. No, I've not. I did see one of them where it was kind of like, the Chip 2.0. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, just letting mine grow.
Yeti,
the Jeti. The Jeti. Jeff, out of nowhere, I don't even consume like Star Wars content. I have received about 15 ads for companies that sell lightsabers. And one of the ads was like, you're not a true Jedi if you have never engaged in battle with a lightsaber. I'm like, why? I say I don't like these ads. I don't want these ads. And are there that many companies selling lightsabers? And are that many people buying them? I mean, what is going on? I'm not one of those, those old dudes that like goes to like these dress up events, and wears a Jedi costume with the fake. Why am I being targeted? I feel like I'm being unfairly targeted. But anyway,
you probably are.
You've given it away successfully, correct?
I don't. Zober, have you received? On our end, it went. It's gone. It's been sent.
Yeah, it's gone, baby. Gone, baby.
You gotta accept it. He has to accept it. He has to go in to the XRP.cafe and accept it. Or I think you can accept it right in the Zaman wallet too. There's a way to accept it.
Okay, so I've accepted one other thing here. This was on an Alex Jones longer video, but I'll pull it up at the right segment.
Right. Here we go. Hey Rob, there's another wave of innovation coming up in May. How cool would it be to see you in May
with bin chicken?
with bin chicken over in Australia.
May 1st
That
and
would
2nd.
be very cool. Yeah, you can do it right in the wallet, and you just slide and accept it. That's it.
That's right.
That's how cool it is. So
There's a lot. So I gotta put this to the right spot here.
he is drinking, so he's still checking.
Okay.
Look at that. Rob's in. Sweet.
This was a Alex Jones thing right here. So let's do this. Ready? This time we're gonna see kangaroos, bro. We're going to I don't care if we go to a zoo. We're gonna see
There's no
kangaroos.
such thing as kangaroos. They
We'll
don't really
see.
exist. There's no
This was an
koalas.
Alex Jones video that I ended up watching. So this is
Insist, I will audit your dinosaur theme park.
I'm glad you all could make it, prepared for a safe and effective time.
What an odd thing to say. Anyway, you there, what's your take on dinosaur zoos?
I prefer space travel, but I enjoy new experiences with friends.
Careful now. These dinos are insane.
I'm rich, so you have to endorse everything I do. Okay, let's start the tour.
I am the science behind this operation.
Uh-oh, what kind of a call out is that?
You ever just feel like torturing a beagle and spreading HIV? My early review of your operation is not looking so good. Not very good at all, quite frankly.
We need to get the fuck out of here right now.
The dino's got my sleeves, but I'll manage.
Guys, I found a rocket launcher.
They're making a bioweapon here. You have to get the message out.
Wait, a bioweapon in addition to the dinosaurs?
They've spliced the common cold with HIV, the virus responsible for AIDS.
Run! I'll take the L. Just get out of here.
What do you mean my Uncle Alex is still out there?
Don't worry, Uncle Alex won the karate state championship in '93. He knows how to handle himself.
Come at me, you stupid son of a bitch.
The satellite phone only has enough juice for one call. I'm going with my gut on this one, guys.
You're clear for friendship and a nuclear strike.
We have to extract all the puppies before this place gets glassed.
Anyway, that was some good shit. That's good stuff right there. Gotta love it, man. Anyway, that's all we have. We always play funny videos at the end, make you wait for some fun stuff. That's amazing. It's good stuff, man. Good stuff. Let's get out of here. Gotta get out of here, Jeff.
99. Tomorrow morning we're gonna wake back. I thought this was crashing yesterday, then it went up to like 107. Now it's down to 99. 99.
Pretty bright, man. We've got a big, bright way ahead of us, man.
The 99. Is that song? The 99 balloons?
What's that?
The 99 balloons?
99 left balloons. That was a German tune. 99 left balloons. And the rest of it in German, so I don't know the rest of it, Jeff.
That's something in my room.
Yeah.
22.
Let's go, guys. Let's get out of here. That is all we have.
Get out of here. Oh, we have. Till when? What's today?
We're going to get out of here. It's
Wednesday.
Wednesday.
We'll see Saturday morning.
Guys, only a few more shows left this year until season 5 starts, and we're almost at our 700 podcast episode. Exciting times.
What?
Yeah,
It ain't so.
Yeah, man. It's exciting as hell. As hell. Let's get out of here. Ready?
Here, ready, set.
Let's sit. Let's get out. Let's get out.
Make sure you see the last 5.
They both
Tag you both
the last 5. Okay.
Trump or the hum.
The When did you? Okay, you tagged us in it, so I'm tagging. All right, Mike. We'll check it out. We'll check it out. See you on the next. Chip and Jeff out. See you soon.
Are you down with OTC? Please like, subscribe, and click the bell to be notified when the next video drops.